Prince Andrew believes he can fly again. Yeah, he's back on the planes and moving to everywhere that he can't get extradited from. If you remember who Prince Andrew is, he was mentioned by Miss Giuffre in the whole Epstein situation, and it was rumored that he could not be on certain flights to certain locations because he was kind of locked down because of the accusations, and he didn't want to go to certain locations because there was extradition there if they decided to, follow through with some charges. Now, not only did he have a falling out with the people that he lived around, but the royal family also kind of put him on the do not contact list. Everything from his nephews to his, all of them hated him, including his brother. Nobody wanted an affiliation with him. However, now that things are kind of moving in a different direction when it comes to the Epstein situation, it seems as though he no longer has to worry about flying again. With the fact that the case has been settled, just remember that, where there's nothing to see here, this now seems to mean that, yes, indeed, since it's formally closed, that Prince Andrew is now free to traverse the earth as he sees fit without any limitations. What does that actually mean, though? If this travel restriction was there to begin with because he was afraid, what does that try to tell you? Is it that he really was worried that he was wronged? Or is he concerned that people will find out that he was the one that did something, hence why he doesn't fly? Now, him being locked, kind of, well, I guess it would be semi locked down at the Royal Lodge for about 5 years now, where he can't really traverse the earth. He might go outlandishly out and above and beyond what he was normally doing, but it still doesn't fix the relationship he has with the people of London, much less with the royal family. That particular thing is still an ongoing issue. King Charles has still refused to try and communicate with him. He is still ostracized from him. There is no relational repair that's happening there. Um, Even Prince William is against him even returning to the public light. The royal PR, none of them want to have to do anything with him. The public doesn't like him. He is a pariah at this point. A lot of it stemmed from the interview that he did. If you guys remember this interview that he had, where he seemed to see he was very uncomfortable with the questions that were posed, especially around Miss Giuffre. And I don't even remember. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. And he kept. You remember that when he? Well, I mean, I'm not quite. That interview sealed his fate when it came to the public trusting anything he had to say. Every answer he gave seemed like a lie. At every time he came to defend himself, he came out with this absolute off the wall statement of I could never, and people who know me, and I could never, and I understand that that's the pictures are saying this, and I understand that, but I have the excuses are abounding crazily. The public never bought it. He was a public stain, and so what had to happen was the royal family had to eventually just say no, no more money, no more protections. You are no longer a part of this whole society that we have because we have a reputation to hold. Whether you think the royal family has a reputation to begin with, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. But you have to remember, too, that there was no legal charges against him, even though he was implicated, even though he was mentioned, even though he was filmed, even though he was in pictures. I don't know how come legal charges weren't brought against him, actually, when you think about it. I digress. I'm trying to figure that first. Now that I'm walking through this, how did he not get caught up in this and get arrested? Yeah. Anyway, so what has happened now? He is going to have to decide whether he returns to the public light, whether he feels safe to do it, and to what benefit is he going to have when he goes and does that. You see, a lot of questions were unanswered, seeing as how he wasn't called to either testify or defend himself. And the answers he gave during that, I think it was a 60-minute interview, the answers he gave were so off to one, and I think they were by design that they were very vague, so that no one can really pin anything on him except for a guilty look. Again, guilt is not only in look. It's not because you look weird that you're going to be guilty. You could be very uncomfortable with the questions, and that would make you seem, at least to the public, guilty. If that's the case, if that be the case, that what is happening now with him is one of those situations where he can feel more free to move around the country or even the globe, what is he going to do? Is he going to show up on American soil because he can? Is he afraid to do so? Will there be another investigation that's completely separate now that the FBI have closed off and the DOJ has closed off the Epstein files here? Does that mean that the Epstein situation is closed off everywhere? If that is the case, then sure, he'll be going around. Are there more documents to be unsealed with Miss Giuffre in other countries? And will there be a separate lawsuit considering that he's been in pictures with her along with Ghislaine Maxwell? Could he be looking at an ease, a temporary ease that could draw him out to make him in worse of a position? Could there be more people seeing that how the Giuffre and the Epstein thing is now closed on that end, that they bring forward their own sentiments about things? If they were also a victim and they were waiting to see how the Epstein case closed off, finished, now that he's dead, doesn't mean that people can't be coming forward as victims and sue the people that they knew were there. That's still a very big possibility. We're hoping that actually happens, that more people see what has gone on with Epstein and bring direct charges to individuals outside of Epstein. Maybe that's another option that could be on the table. But as of now, he is legally free, no social constrainment. Epstein is gone. The link right now in the legal sense is no longer there, but his reputation has been completely destroyed. The question is, will he be able to make it back to any sort of semblance to the life he had before, if it wasn't worth anything? Will he ever be able to get back into the protections of the royal family? Will he lose out on all the money that would be coming to him as part of the royal family children? Or will he be relegated to a position where nobody ever speaks about him again? He becomes the Voldemort of the royal family, releases himself from it. He gets ostracized permanently, maybe even exiled. And he might as well stay secluded for the rest of his life because, hey, nobody likes you anyway. It's a really interesting situation when you look at it, considering what's happening on the American soil with the Epstein situation, because we're only one country. And if there were multiple people from foreign countries going there, other countries may have a case now that they can also open. And if Prince is on one of those, whoo-wee. If I were you, Prince, I wouldn't worry, man. Just stay home. Don't bother coming out into the public. Order Uber Eats and just stay secluded. You'd be better off. I'm telling you now, you'll be better off. You will not be able to live down this particular stigma of having been seen, pictured at a facility with somebody who accused you of messing with them sexually, especially at a young age. What are your thoughts? Do you think that he can be freely moved now and people should just forgive him, move along? He never got charged. And if he never got charged, he can't be guilty. Or do you think that he had a hand in this? And this is possibly why a lot of things are happening. And maybe that with this being closed off, since he was not charged, he can be now, and they should. Look forward to answering your questions if you have any and reading your comments about this one.